Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm going to talk to you today about Yin Yoga. Yin Yoga is a complementary form of yoga. It complements all other yang forms of yoga, or the more active forms of yoga, or any other form of exercise. It helps balance the body. And how does it do that? Well, we add a gentle stress over a long period of time to the joints and the fascia. And similar to acupuncture and acupressure, when we release that gentle force or stress that's applied to those areas, it allows the fibroblasts in your body, which are like little healing friends that come to the area that we just targeted, and they start to repair the area. So if it had been injured or not used for a long time, then those fibroblasts can help create collagen to repair the area and bring it back to normalcy. There's 3 ways that we can move energy throughout our body during Yin Yoga, and it's physically by becoming into a posture or a shape, and then, like I said, applying pressure or stress within the joints and connective tissues, and once we release that, we can move energy that way. The meridians are these channels that run through the fascia in Chinese medicine, and the channels take energy to and from the major organs in your body. So once we kind of stress the fascia, we're actually helping to aid in moving that energy, unblocking stuck energy, and to strengthen the flow of energy in the body to those organs. We can also move the energy with our breath in the body. So in Yin Yoga, we can breathe with a gentle breath, or we can breathe with more of like a sipping breath, sipping air through our nostrils, and then gently, slowly kind of letting the air dissolve out on our exhale. We can also try diaphragmatic breath, taking a 3-part breath throughout the practice, or we can just breathe gently. And you can also imagine where the breath is going to the targeted area. You can imagine moving the energy with the breath throughout the body. You can imagine the pores, like breathing through the pores of the body, or breathing directly into that targeted area of the body. And that can also help move energy throughout the body. And the last way to move energy throughout the body is through using meditation. And in Yin Yoga, we use more of a Vipassana type of meditation. You can use other types of meditation, but Vipassana is almost like you're just very relaxed in your thoughts and noticing your thoughts and any images that show up in the mind, any sensations or emotions that are showing up in the body, and just noticing them and letting them flow without judgment, without control. And by noticing these thoughts and images and emotions and sensations, we are able to not let those things take control over us, not be like little dictators telling us what to do, go here, do that. We're able to notice them and let them kind of dissolve away while we're noticing them. And when we do that, we are not giving our thoughts any power over us. We're just kind of able to surrender and come into a more peaceful state. So that's what we use to move energy using meditation. And the main goal of Yin Yoga is to promote healing within the body, create mobility, and to reduce stress and pain. The 4 principles of Yin Yoga are, number 1, coming into the shape or the posture and finding an appropriate edge. So you don't want to go over this edge. You want to just come to the first edge of resistance that your body comes to. And then number 2, the second principle of Yin Yoga is to relax the muscles in that targeted area. So you won't always be relaxing every muscle in your body in each pose. It's just we're focusing on relaxing in the targeted area. So you may have to have your muscles more engaged to hold you up, but relaxing the area that we're targeting. The third principle in Yin Yoga is once you find your appropriate edge in a pose you know you can hold for some time, you're going to relax the muscles in that area that we're targeting. So again, some muscles may be engaged to hold you up, but sorry, that was the second principle. The third principle is to become relatively still within the targeted area. Is to become relatively still. I say relatively because if your edge changes and sometimes things release and you go a little deeper and it's too much and you need to come out of the pose, or sometimes you start to feel no sensation because you've released whatever stuck energy is there and you need to go deeper. So at those two times you can change and move, but other than that, you want to try to stay relatively still so that you can really focus on getting into those areas with your breath, with your meditation, and with the gentle stress on that targeted area. And the fourth principle of Yin Yoga is to always exit and enter the poses nice and slow, mindful, and careful. I always tell people it's kind of like when you bend a paper clip back and forth really fast, it breaks. And that's like our body. If you open it up nice and slow, then it stays intact. And that's what we want to do with our body. We don't want anything breaking off. So some common concerns with practicing Yin Yoga are, will my muscles get long and weak and therefore I get injured? And I always say no, because we're paying attention to our breath and any sensations and only coming to an appropriate edge, which is a mild edge. So that's very hard and it takes time sometimes to find that edge, but as long as we're staying safe and listening to our bodies, coming out when we feel pain, then you will not get injured. And another thing that people may have a concern with is, if I meditate, does that mean that I'm Buddhist? Because I believe in God, I believe I'm Christian, and I'm not Buddhist. And all I say to that is, no, it doesn't mean that you're Buddhist, but we are just becoming aware of our thoughts and images, emotions, and just not letting them be dictators over our lives. We're just surrendering to the fact that they have no power over us and letting that go. It's kind of just bringing us to a place of peace and tranquility. So you can still believe in God, whichever God you want, and look inward at what's going on inside, in my opinion. And then as far as stress is a force that you're putting on the joints and connective tissues, and they need to be exercised differently than muscles. So by exercising the joints and connective tissues, we're applying a gentle force to the targeted area. Therefore, when we release, the body will respond by making the joints and connective tissues a little bit longer and a little bit stronger. And when we stretch, we're usually talking about muscles. I mean, you can stretch fascia and joints a little bit, which is what we're doing in Yin Yoga. But stretching is usually when you take muscles that are warm and you lengthen those muscles, and then the body responds by strengthening those areas. So muscles need to be exercised differently with like repetitive motions and contraction and release. Therefore, they can become stronger. And joints and connective tissues, we want more of a slow, gentle, steady load. And that's pretty much the difference. And I hope I answered everything. Can't wait to see you guys. Bye.